If Donald Trump has any doubts about running for president, he's hiding them very well. The billionaire personality entered the race Tuesday in his typically loud and dramatic fashion.
I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. When was the last time anybody saw us beating, let's say, China in a trade deal? I beat China all the time. I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. I tell you that. I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second. $8,737,540,000. Now, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to brag, because you know what? I don't have to brag. I don't have to. The American dream is dead. We will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This morning, some Republicans say they're worried Trump will turn the campaign into a circus. John Heilemann, managing editor of Bloomberg Politics, is with us.
Who doesn't love a circus, Nora?
Everybody likes
What are they complaining about?
I know, right? Presidential campaign. They're always close to a circus.
Absolutely right.
He says he doesn't need to brag.
But then he does.
But then
a bit.
he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that many presidential candidates. He's the richest person who's ever run for president by whatever his net worth is. He says it's about $9 billion. Cut that in half. Cut it into 30. Still richer than anybody who's ever run before. But not that many people go out and say that and then twin it with kind of a populist message. It's like he wants to be a populist, but also he wants to point out that he's really, really, really rich.
What do you think is the point of his candidacy?
Well, look, he has had his entire career has been built around not only being rich, but representing being rich. He's very, very good at getting attention for himself. He likes to be in the public eye. This is the next logical phase in getting people to look at him. And we have a brilliant piece at BloombergPolitics.com by my friend Will Leach, who's written about how you can scoff at Donald Trump, and elites do. He will not likely be the Republican nominee. He will almost certainly not be president. But we are all sort of Donald Trump now in the world of self-branding, selfies, social media. Everybody in the world is saying, look at me, and that is what Donald Trump has been doing for his entire life.
And John, doesn't he, I mean, despite the polling numbers, and his polling numbers are very low, but he does change the mix here. I mean, he can be a wild card that can affect this race, can't he? Well,
certainly. Look, I mean, elites dismiss him. A lot of people in America love him, and everybody pays attention to him. His polling numbers are he's got the highest unfavorables of any Republican nominee among Republican voters. He's got the highest number of Republican voters who say they would never vote for him for president. But on a national basis, because his name ID is so high, he could get into these debates and make the criteria of the top 10 for these early debates at Fox and CNN. If he's on the debate stage, not only is he likely to push off, he will if he gets on, push off one other Republican, but he will make a big ruckus on that debate stage, and that will change the dynamics for everyone else at the early formative stages of the race.
But he says the most provocative things, like when Mexico sends its people, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. What is your strategy, and how can you succeed when you say things like that?
Well, you can't, again, Gail, if the question is how can you become president, you can't by saying things like that. How can you get a fair number of people in the country who are angry about various things to nod their heads and say, yeah, that's right? That's the populist part of Donald Trump. He rails against a variety of enemies, a variety of bogeymen, and there are a lot of people in America who are scared of the things that Donald Trump is identifying or worried about them. So he taps into a deep vein that's out there among some number of voters, and people will agree with him, and he will be able to say, people come up to me on the street all the time and say, Donald Trump, you're right. And that, I think, is almost as much what this is about as anything else. So he can say those kinds of things, not to attain the ultimate goal. He has a great life already. You know, he doesn't need to be president to have a great life.
Well, he wants Oprah as VP. She's got a great life, too.
Again,
You're doing okay.
Again, you can say whatever you want about Donald Trump, but not a dumb man. If you're trying to put Oprah on your ticket, you're proving right there how smart you are.
Gail, what do you think? Do you think Oprah's game for it?
Well, I think if she entered the race, we could probably get an interview. I would bet my life, my firstborn, and my secondborn, that ain't happening.
There are not that many things that I would like to see more
never say
than a Trump Winfrey, or actually probably would be better, a Winfrey Trump ticket.
All right, John Heilemann, thank you.
Always great to have you here.
Thanks a lot.
It is. I agree. I love it when you come.